through the dust on a cracked old road. Hat tilted forward, shadows that load. Eyes burn deep like a fire untamed. The nation he...
All right. I know this is really short notice, but I just wanted to hop in. Maybe I got a plan to do a live again later this evening, but I wanted to try something out. And so I figure, why not try it out right now, right? So here we go. 70 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note or long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work that they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Indeed, indeed. I just had to do that while I could. I've been working on it for a long time. I think that the Gettysburg Address is prescient. It stands for something even now. It's funny when you look back at some of these things. One of the things that was said is that people will not long remember the words that are spoke here, but they will remember the actions. And it seems to me that almost the opposite has happened. We remember the words and not the actions so much in a daily way. So I would like to say that we ought to remember the words and the actions and take note that those words have great meaning. And, yeah. Good to see you, Bill. I just wanted to do a short little live stream of me doing the Gettysburg Address. Is it robot? Shoot. It's already roboting? How does that even work? I wonder why. Hold on a sec. Let's try turning this off real quick and turn it back on. Or I can just try changing the settings. Hold on. Hello. Is it still roboting? Smoking Spaceman, is it still roboting? Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this. All right, we still roboting? Or does that fix it? Generally, it's a pretty swift fix if it fixes it when I do it, that is. Good. Good. Tell me this, Mr. Smoking Spaceman. Does my soundboard work now? Because I've been working on this. Can you guys hear those sounds? You don't hear any sound effects at all? Hmm. Huh, hold on. Maybe that's why it even roboted too. Could be. I've noticed that if I leave the control stuff open, it doesn't allow me to do certain things. For some reason, if I leave the software open for the microphone, then I get it like freezes it up and then it doesn't continue working the way that it's supposed to. So as weird as that is. Where you at? Where you at, program? There it is. End task. Now we'll try reopening that. Let's see. Okay. Did you hear that? Can you hear these now? Static's back. That's just stupid. So it has to do with the software, is my guess. Wait, where did that just go? That's really weird. Hold on. X, X, M. It's weird how it's acting. Hold on a sec. Oh, and the program even went invisible. That's really weird. Set up. Sampler. Home. Alright. Robot crickets. Yeah, evidently. Maybe. It makes me wonder because this is my first good mic. So. The real question is, am I still roboting right now? Yeah, it might be that. it might be that if I just close out, turn this off. Now, is it better? I'm wondering if I just leave the application closed, if that'll fix the sound issues. Yeah. Yeah, I think microphones are a funny thing. Like if the hertz aren't correct, they don't match what the computer's doing, there'll be craziness going on between the microphone and the computer system. So it's kind of stupid that it has to be exactly perfect. The other part is I'm running this, like I said before, on a little Lenovo laptop. It's not a bad one, to be fair. It's got like a 1 terabyte hard drive, 16 gigs of RAM, touch screen. It's a decent laptop, but no full-blown media output is meant to be a laptop plugged into this amount of stuff. Screens, audio interfaces, XLR microphones, like all the stuff that's connected into it is a little over the top for one laptop, you know. To be fair, my other laptop fried out, and it was a gaming laptop. It was nicer than the one I'm using right now, but it is what it is, so. So, I guess the other question now, would be, what is going on with this thing? It's acting weird. Weird. 3 just stays lit up now. I don't know what it's doing, but hey, whatever. So, I'm going to do this a second time for you gentlemen. If you would, please give me a like. I know everybody else is live right now too. I know Easy's live, everybody's live. I wasn't trying to steal the attention from other shows. I just needed to jump on, do a few things, and then I'll be back on later to do an actual live, like a full show. I'm going to talk, I think, about nuclear families and how they're the building blocks of the United States and any great civilization for that matter. I've been doing some research on it. Also, I need to do debate prep for my EOD debate, which I don't want to do all of it like live, but I can do researching while I do shows. And I already have pages and pages and pages of stuff written out for notes. So I think it'll go well. I think I don't usually have an issue in my debate stances, but, you know. Yeah, it's a weird question, Smoking Spaceman. If we want everybody to be out voting, we should be pushing for that. Make sure there's not a whole bunch of content there. Then again, like, you know, you can watch this content on your phone, so you could be watching it on your phone, go do your vote thing, and still pay attention while you're doing those things. But dude, it bugs me actually, Smoking Spaceman, how many people don't pay attention to the smaller elections. Like, your local elections matter, your state elections matter, your national elections matter. If you care about the future of your country, vote. Vote in every freaking manner you can, on everything you can, with your values, with your beliefs. Go and make sure you vote, because those who are not voting are doing damage to whatever side they sit on. So, oh man. Yeah, I kind of felt like some of the stuff was going to happen. Zorhan, I know I saw that. That was look, there was a call to get out there. Scott Pressler did it. Everybody around was pushing to get out and do the voting. But the truth is, if the populace in the area where they are voting for these things, or these people, is too heavily one direction, you're still not going to see enough. It doesn't mean you shouldn't go out and do it. It doesn't mean you shouldn't make your voice heard prior to the vote so that people go out and vote well. But at the same time, if you have a populace that's 70% in an area that leans one direction, it makes it pretty hard for you to win. The way we got to do it is we got to get out there. We have to do the same things that we see the other side using against us. If it's legal and it's how they're winning, then we need to be utilizing the exact same tactics that they are. Otherwise, we have ceded ground to them and allowed it to continue. It's on our heads if we are not making the strides needed. If we feel like what they're doing is a cheapskate way of getting it, but it's legal, then guess what? We have to rise to the occasion. We have to do the same. Your virtues when it comes to voting and the system matter not if the other side has made it legal to get away with things and we don't do the same. I get that, like, you have to take the high ground and you have to be the honorable one and you have to follow your morals and your virtues, but if the other side is willing to stab you in the back, at least like hyperbolically, right? But if they're willing to do that, then we have to be aware that that's a willingness that exists, and we have to take the actions needed to overcome those things. If it's made legal that mail-in ballots are a thing, guess what? Everybody on our side should be using it too. If they make ballot harvesting a thing, our whole side should be doing it too. Because if they're allowed to do it and it's made legal, then guess what? Whatever little thing in your head says only people should go to the polls to vote, but they've made it legal to do mail-in and they made it legal to do ballot harvesting, then we should be doing the same. As much as it sucks. I agree. Well, you know. All right. So I'm going to do this a second time since you guys are here. I don't know how many viewers are here, but I'm going to do this a second time. I'm probably not going to go for very much longer. I'll get off and I'll get back on after a little while. Oh, I need some fun little clips too, gentlemen. Check this out.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
A good one, right? Right? Oh, really? Okay, hold on.
You've been healed. I lie beneath.
I lie beneath.
That's some serious shit, man. That's what I was tripping on. It was tough. It was tough as a motherfucker.
So I've been working on yanking clips, making them fit into place, so that I can utilize them midstream, which is going pretty well. It's taken me a bit to figure all of it out and then to clip and edit them, but I don't know what I did to trigger the robot, to be fair. I wish I knew. I don't know if I bumped anything or if it's just the state of the system. I know I have to have a lot of things open to utilize, like my donation bar here, right? But also I have other stuff, right? I have OBS running in the background, so I can do things like put a timer up, change things around as needed. So, but these things are kind of useful when you're using StreamYard, because when you use StreamYard, you don't have the accessibility of certain things. So I couldn't even have my donation bar at the top of my head here if I just use StreamYard, because they don't have any way of doing a dono tracker in the system. So I have to use OBS Virtual Cam to do these things. Like say I make myself smaller, it's going to make all the stuff on my screen smaller too, but at the very least it's still here so that chat can see. Oh, maybe it could be. Could be that opening a tab did it to me. Hard to know. It's silly that it does that. Anyway, I want to, donate now. Let me get a bigger, stronger computer and more equipment. Look, guys, I actually want to do really big shows. I want to do, there's several things I want to do in the future for this show. I want to do some debate shows. I want to do rhetorical training shows where people can understand the linguistics that they utilize and how to tear apart arguments through words, not just through the semantics, but through linguistic meaning of the words and how they're used. I want to do some streams where I can show you guys different landscapes, because I already do some traveling, but I don't have, like, the stuff I have here is basically stationary recording stuff. In the future, I'd like to be able to take you places that it feels like some people don't ever get to see. And I think it would be really cool to show you these places. I mean, it'd be pretty cool to do a show from the top of a mountain or from, the edge of a great slot canyon or something like that. I also want to do, eventually, I want to do in-person interviews, in-person debates, things like that. So down the line, right, as things grow and continue to move forward, I think that would be I think it'd be awesome, and it's one of my goals. So I also want to do some variety show type stuff. There's a lot of fun ideas out there that I want to look at doing, but you got to move into those things because you can't just jump into everything, right? Some things you can do like on the budget, on the low end, and you figure it out as you go. Some stuff I think if you do it that way, you ruin your idea before you ever get a chance to try it. And so I'm trying to juggle that right now, to be fair. True. Smoking Spaceman. I have to go back through and reread some of our conversations too, because as you know, or I think you know, my short-term memory isn't super great. Certain types of head trauma aren't great for that. Welcome, Hurricane and Rude. This is just a short little stream before I eat dinner, and then I'll come back and do a full show. But I wanted to do some testing with my boom mic and some of the clips I've made.
It was tough. It was tough as a motherfucker.
They're a lot of fun. Finally started clipping my own small clips for, everybody's got them, and I couldn't figure out for the longest time how to do all of it myself, but I'm training myself on a whole bunch of things over time.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
Yeah. So, fun times. So, 1 second here. fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note or long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work that they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here, highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Yep. Well said, Abe. Well said. So, here we have it, you know? I suppose, like I said, everybody's got shows going. I'm going to go eat some food, and then I will be back for a real show after a bit. The longest government shutdown was 75 days back in 1964 when the Dems tried to block the Civil Rights Act. See, what's funny about that, too, Smoking Spaceman, is the news puts out information on stuff like this, right? And they'll say the longest government shutdown we've ever seen was 35 days during the first Trump administration. But then when you go and you actually look into the history, you're like, wait, no, it wasn't. Why are you reporting that that's the case when it's obvious that that's not the case? And we see this quite often, right? It's like in my lifetime as a reporter, because I'm 40, so I wasn't alive in the 1960s. In my lifetime, it's the longest shutdown, but not the longest shutdown there has been. Just, but they don't even say that part. They just say the longest shutdown there has been is this amount of time. And it's like, that's actually just a flat out lie. And you just didn't give us any pretext of what you actually mean. So you can get away with the lie that you just told. So, I'm sure you already get that, and you know it well, but holy, we see it all the damn time. Especially now. You just clip context off of things, you can make people look terrible. You can make news seem like things it's not. You can make events seem like things they're not. And we just keep seeing it play through over and over again. It's really ridiculous to me. Holy what, Emmett? What, Emmett? What? Tell me. Tell me. I'm live right now, but like I said to Smoking Spaceman, I came live so that I could test out some of my equipment, some of my new clips. And do my presidential address, which I've now clipped so that I can use it more than just the one time I've said it, which is awesome. I'm running OBS and StreamYard so that I can utilize on-screen stuff, and I can actively clip while I'm doing the show, which is kind of a very useful tool. So now I have my Gettysburg Address clipped. I have this one. You'll love this one. Ready, Emmett? Check this out. This is probably going to be one of your favorites.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
How do you like that? How do you like that, Emmett? It's a good one, right? I thought you'd like it. I also got some other ones because you reminded me.
I lie beneath.
I lie beneath.
You've been healed.
That's a good one too. Why you always crying? If you send me the clip, I can, or you send me the video, I'll clip it out of it. But it's been a learning experience. Basically, what I have to do is I gotta pull open my OBS, use my OBS to screen capture stuff from whichever source, right? YouTube, wherever, TikTok, whatever. And then I do that screen record. I record extra on both ends, the beginning and the end. And then I save that. Then I reopen it in an editing software, and then I can trim it up, make sure I get rid of anything that I don't want there, and then save it, title it, and then upload it into my StreamYard for assets, which, again, is a learning process for somebody who doesn't do this or who hasn't done this a bunch. I've done like photo editing and stuff like that in the past. I've done some other types of digital stuff, PaintShop Pro and stuff like that, Photoshop, but never full on digital editing of video. So yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people already doing stuff now. So my plan was to come on, do my Gettysburg Address, make sure all my clips worked, check that my microphone's still doing okay, although it keeps roboting here and there when I change out of certain windows, but hey. Yeah, there you have it. So I think part of it too is like it does not like Discord. Like it does not like it when I use Discord and other things. What the hell is going on there? Now a different window is just deciding it's going to be over the top of everything, I guess. Let me see here. Oy. Fun times. Fun times. So, also, been working on this for a little bit. Hi, Doom. Good to see you. So now I have this as well, right? Can just, anytime I need to use it, clear, start, and I can change my time if I need to. Go boom. What do I want? Clear that. Let's go 10 minutes this time. Is that? Oh, that's 10 seconds. That won't work. I need 10 minutes, dork. Oh, clear. Boom. 10 minutes. Start. So now I have that. And when I'm using this, then I can. Hi, Ag. Good to see you as well. But it'll stay on my screen whilst I'm doing things, right? Running the stuff. So There'll still be a timer. There'll still be a dono goal. But at the very least, now I have these things when I go live. And we want to do events. So, made those things work. Pause, clear. Set to 10. Doom, I did do more clipping, like we talked about. So now we have more assets in here.
You've been healed. I lie beneath.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
That's some serious shit, man. That's what I was tripping on. It was tough. It was tough as a motherfucker.
All kinds of goodies. And there's more to come, for sure. But there's some now. More than we had. More than we had. And I think I did good, even with the FAFO one. Like we talked about, I made sure I didn't like just clip the vertical, because that would be stupid.
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out.
It's good advice. It's good advice. Let's see. Hold on just a second again. Double check my mic stuff. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note or long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here, to the unfinished work that they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here, highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Indeed. And so, there we have it. Thank you, K2. I appreciate that. Let me check what you sent me. Wait, where'd you send it, K2? Because you didn't send it to me, I don't think. Unless you sent it to me... I don't have a new message from you. Unless you put it in the Discord, not to me. A lot of extra fuel, huh? Olay, that doesn't sound good at all. Yeah. Oh, okay, hold on. Let's put it here. Hold on just a sec, gentlemen. Paste. Boom. Okay. Volume. Okay. It's a lot of jumping around. I wish I had like 10 screens at this point. I mean, I do and I don't, because I wouldn't even have the ability to plug them into my laptop, to be fair, because, you know, it's got like one HDMI port, not multiple, but... Okay, let's see. Holy shite. That's one hell of a... That's one hell of a crash there, dude. Sheesh. Damn. That's a lot of fuel. That's a lot of fire. I don't think anybody's... That probably did a shitload of damage, I would imagine. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, K2. Sheesh. That's terrible. Sheesh. Multi-pass. Multi-pass. I'm a meat popsicle. It's a good movie. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. We live in a crazy time, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy time. What's the wrong answer? Meat popsicle? Yeah. That usually gets you blown through the wall. Boom! Yeah. And that's what happens, right? He says he's a meat popsicle and then puts his hands on the circles. And then they shoot through the wall anyway. So, yeah. As you guys can see, there's a goal at the top here. Trying to run goals for each stream. Try to fund the channel and all of the things that I have to pay for to keep the channel going, but also try to make enough to cover, you know, life in general. So, because if I'm going to do this often, if I'm going to do this full time, then it has to be worth it enough to be here with you guys and for you guys. So, like I said, later I'm going to talk, I think, about the... Shoot. See, I didn't do anything that time. Hold on. It's weird that that's happening. Is it better now? Favorite Abe, my ass. It also makes me wonder if like shared inputs from other programs make it screw up faster. I'm back again, Robo, already? Yes or no? Am I Robo right now? Okay. Freaking Emmett making me, like, have a heart attack over here. Quit giving me a hat attack. You love Robo Abe. You're just rude. That's what you are. You're just rude. You're just rude, Emmett. Rude.
Is that so?
What do you mean, Scud incoming? Are we playing video games now? Is that what's happening? Not now. What? Am I robot again? Is it like every time I use a voice effect or any effect, I go Robo? Oh, did you? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on now. SS, I will, Smoky Spaceman, I will respond to that after a bit. The one I'm using right now is just from a browser. If I had one that was settable and usable in that way, I would totally use it. But I don't have one, and I was trying to figure out how to make one through Stream Elements, and I couldn't figure it out because it kept trying to do a countdown from a day to another day rather than just a straight countdown. So oh, really? Is that so? That's an interesting name you've chosen for yourself. Do you want me to play that one as well, K2? Can I play that? Atlanta First News. Hold on. Let me do it. Gotta grab the web address from it. Go there. Boom. Boom. Okay, hold on. Back and forth, back and forth. Share screen. Plane crash. Okay. Okay.
Breaking now at 6, reported just moments ago, a plane crash at Muhammad Ali Airport in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, let's get right to Atlanta News First anchor Joe Gorcho at the First Alert Breaking News Desk. And Joe, I know we're just confirming from Atlanta-based UPS that this is one of their planes.
It is, and we're also trying to get more official responses as to what was the cause of this crash. Right now, as you should be seeing on your screen, you're seeing a wide vantage point of this devastation. You see flames on the bottom, and here's an aerial view now. We're just getting new images and video from the scene from our sister station there in Louisville, and I think this gives you kind of the scope of this damage here tonight. Just look at the trail of fire there on your screen, the thick cloud of smoke. There was another vantage point I saw just moments ago, Blair and Tracy, where we saw trucks damaged, buildings damaged. We do know from our sister station in Louisville that there are reported injuries because of this crash. And we're also learning that calls came in around 5:15 this afternoon. So this is all very much developing. We're also learning from our desk as well that right now there is a ground stop. The airport is completely shut down there in Louisville. And this crash happened just south of the airport. But as you can see, it looks like it's right there next to it as we see first responders there on the scene working to try to contain this situation. I'm seeing countless You can see it on your screen there too. All these lights,
Damn.
all these first responders there responding to this crash. Like you mentioned here, this was a UPS plane. We don't know the specifics of what caused this crash, but we do know again
Gosh.
that it was a UPS plane.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. Jeez. Doom, how are you? Mm-hmm. StreamYard tech support. Are you StreamYard tech support? That's the real question. Wow. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good question, John. That's a good question. It's got to be someone's fault. Who knows whose? But does make you wonder. We had all that rash of plane crashes, not that long ago. And then there's a lull. You could call it a lull in the crashes, but all of a sudden, here we go again. And I don't know, man. Odd times we're living in, people. Odd times we're living in. Are you just hiding back there, Doom? Is that what's happening? You're just hiding away in a cubbyhole somewhere? In a dungeon? Waiting? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I'm going to go eat some food. I'm going to end this one, and then I will be back for a real show this evening after I'm done eating. I can't give you an exact time just yet. Probably not too long, but it gives y'all a little bit of time. I'll try and post in Discords before I do the show so that it's posted around so everybody knows. Yeah. I suppose. Thank you so much for coming. I will hit my speech that I've now clipped one more time, and then I will say, God bless, and I will go eat, and then I will be back for more fun. Whatever. 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now, we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note or long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work that they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here, dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. that we here highly resolved that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. I'll be back shortly. I'm going to go eat some dinner. I will end this, raid you off, and then I'll be back. I'll post it around in Discord so you all know that I'm going live. But thank you for coming and hanging out with me while I try to get through some testing of new equipment and new clipping. Yeah. Let me figure out how to do that with the way I'm set up right now, because I have things in a really funky manner. But let's see. Yeah, there we go. That's how you do it. Redirect. Boom. Boom. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you all. Thank you for stopping in. Good to see you, Abby. I'm sorry that I'm ending as you arrive, but I will be back after a little bit for a full show. I got to go eat some food first, and then I'll be back. So, God bless you. God bless America, and I'll see you shortly.